everyone. Today's class will be focusing on poses that can relieve lower back pain or discomfort. My name is Lisa and I'll be guiding you through practice today. For today's class, you will need no props. We'll be starting in seated, so find yourself a comfortable seat and rest your hands on your knees. Let's begin to settle ourselves on our mat today. Finding stillness with your body and your mind. Relaxing the muscles of your forehead and releasing your jaw. Relaxing your shoulders down. And as we breathe, let's focus on the gratitude that you should be giving yourself for showing up for practice. And realizing that the next 25 minutes are dedicated just to you. So let's put aside our to-do lists and forget about the stress we may have at work or with our families. And focus on sending our breath to the area of our body that we need to give healing to. So let's take one more deep breath in together. And exhale. Opening our eyes. Side bend is next. Left hand flat on the floor about a foot away from your left hip. Right arm stretches up. Inhaling to lengthen our spine and exhale to bend over towards the left side. Feeling a stretch along the right side body and releasing our head down. Maybe feeling a stretch along the right side of our neck. And notice if you're clenching up in your lower back right now. Sending deep, loving breaths into your low back. And on your next inhale, staying in your side bend, reaching up through your right hand, fingertips towards the sky, and then bringing our right hand back for chest opener. Feeling a deep stretch along the right front of our chest. And coming into neck release, lowering the right hand about a foot away from the right hip and off of the ground. Reaching through your right fingertips to feel a stronger stretch along your right neck. And do a scan through your body and see where you're clenching, whether that's in your neck, your shoulder, or still in your lower back. Wherever that spot is, send your breath there. And on your next inhale, coming back up to center and helping your head up. Right palm flat on the ground, a foot away from the hip. Inhale, left hand up. And exhale, bending over towards the right side. Letting your head hang heavy towards your right shoulder. And relaxing that right shoulder down. Reaching through your left fingertips to feel more of a stretch along your left side body. And deepen your breath. Chest opener is next. Inhale the left hand up and bringing the arms straight back. Feeling a stretch along the left chest. Reaching your fingertips towards the ceiling and letting your head really hang towards your right shoulder. Maybe lowering that right shoulder again. Neck releases next. Lowering the left hand about a foot away from the left hip and the ground. Reaching through those fingertips to feel a strong stretch along the left side of your neck. Maybe bending a bit more into the right elbow. And let's deepen our breath again. Relaxing the muscles of our forehead and our jaw. And taking a moment to still our mind. On our next inhale, coming back to center, resting our hands on our knees and taking a moment of stillness before we transition into our next pose. Baddha Konasana with the forward fold is next. So bringing the soles of our feet to touch, letting our knees fall to the sides, and taking a deep inhale to lengthen our spine, and an exhale to fold over our feet. It doesn't matter how far you go into your forward fold. What I want you to focus on today is really lengthening out your spine and then coming into your fold. We want to release some compression in our lower spine when we forward fold. So that lengthening of our spine really aids in healing. So while we're here, let's take some deep breaths and bring our breath to our low back. Visualizing our breath going to our low back. So taking a deep inhale with our eyes closed and watching our breath swirl around and permeate into the tissues of our low back, and holding our breath here on our inhale and taking a deep exhale to soften our low back, releasing any tension that could be laying there. And take one more breath and coming back up to center. Bringing both hands to the outside of your knees to help them to the center, and then coming onto our back for elbow to knee. Settling in on our back, maybe giving a little tuck to our tailbone. Clasping our hands and bringing them behind our head and neck for support. Bringing our legs into a chair position. And bringing the elbows skyward. Inhale, curling head and shoulders up. Hold the breath. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twisting both elbows towards the left thigh and straightening the right leg. Pull the belly down. Inhale, back to center. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twisting both elbows towards the right leg, straightening the left. Pull the belly down. Inhale, back to center. Hold the breath, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twisting both elbows towards the left thigh, straighten left leg, pull the belly down. Inhale, back to center. Hold the breath, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twisting both elbows towards the right thigh, straighten left leg, and pull the belly down. Inhale, back to center. Curl head and shoulders up, hold the breath, curl the tailbone. Exhale, twisting both elbows towards left thigh and straighten right leg. Pull the belly down. Inhale, back to center. Curl the tailbone up, keeping head and shoulders off the ground. Exhale, twisting both elbows towards the right thigh, straighten left leg. Pull the belly down. Inhale, back to center. Hold the breath. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, Twisting both elbows towards the left thigh, straighten left leg, and pull the belly down. Inhale back to center, curl the tailbone. Exhale, twisting both elbows towards the right thigh, straightening left leg. And inhale, coming back to center. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twisting both elbows towards the left thigh, straighten right leg. Pull the belly down. Inhale, curl head and shoulders up. Exhale, twisting both elbows towards the right thigh, straighten left leg. Pull the belly down. Inhale, coming back to center. Curl the tailbone. Exhale, twisting both elbows towards the left thigh, straighten right leg, and pull the belly down. Inhale, coming back to center. Curl the tailbone. Exhale, twisting both elbows towards the right thigh, straighten left leg, and pull the belly down. All right, and inhale, coming back to center. Curl the tailbone one last time, and relaxing head and shoulders down and feet onto the mat. And rest both hands on your belly, breathing into the heat that we've created in your abdomen. And even though we may not like doing abdominals, it is a great way to strengthen our lower back. A lot of the times we have lower back pain because we have weak abdominals. Even people that are very slim may have a weak abdominal core, which can cause us some low back pain. Well, taking one more deep breath here. And bridge pose is next. Setting up for bridge pose, knees over our ankles, and our feet should be about hip width distance. Reaching for our ankles and then shining our palms towards the ceiling. Giving a tuck to our shoulders. Taking a deep inhale into the front of our chest and exhale up into our bridge, hips towards the ceiling. Now in your bridge today, on each of your inhales, I still want you to be sending your breath into the front of your chest and feeling your ribs expand out towards the sides. And when we come to our exhales, instead of focusing on bringing our hips towards the ceiling, I want you to focus on tucking your tailbone towards your ankles and your feet. We want to create as much space in our low back as we can so that we're able to send our healing breath to that space. So let's take one deep breath in together. And exhale, tucking our tailbone towards our feet. And on your next inhale, we're going to start to lower, lowering our top, mid, and lower spine down to the ground. Taking both knees and hugging them in towards your chest. And just rolling side to side, maybe creating circles and massaging our low back on our mat. And maybe doing our circles the opposite way. And bringing our feet towards the mat, coming onto one side. Dolphin is next. Coming into table to start. Knees under the hips, and then lowering our forearms to the ground. Reaching for our biceps with our hands, and then placing our palms back down on the mat. Fingertips should be facing the short edge of your mat. Head should be heavy and off of the ground in between your arms. Take a deep inhale into the front of your chest, and exhale, curling the toes under and coming into dolphin. Hips pushing up towards the ceiling. And if you have tight hamstrings, then your legs don't need to be straight today. There can be a bend in your knees. Keeping the head heavy, relaxing the neck. Deepening our breath. And starting to send slow, deep, healing breaths to our low back. And maybe that's not where you're feeling tight right now. So if your tightness is along the sides of your neck, then you can send your breath there. And if you're still feeling discomfort in your low back, then I want you to visualize sending your breath to the spot that feels the tightest. Taking one more breath. And lowering the knees to the ground. And coming into embryo, hands at your sides. And resting your forehead to the ground. Letting your body recover for 1 to 2 breaths before we move into our vignettes. Maybe taking another moment to quiet your mind. If it's wandered off, bring it back to the mat. And on your next inhale, coming up to center, helping your body up with your hands if you need to. Downward dog is next. Curling the toes under and bringing the hips towards the ceiling. And walking out your legs if that feels good. Reaching that tailbone up towards the ceiling, creating length in your spine. And warrior 1 is next. Stepping the left foot forward. Feet should be on separate tracks with hips facing the short edge of your mat. And bring both of your hands on either side of your pelvis to tuck your tailbone down. Once you've tucked your tailbone, clasp both hands behind your back and bring both of your shoulders down. Tucking your tailbone again if you need to. Keeping your chest up. Your spine should be straight here. If you need to have a little tuck of your chin towards your chest, then do that. Keeping a strong bend in our front knee. Eagle arms is next. Wrapping the right arm underneath the left. Scooping the chest forward and maybe relaxing our head and our biceps. Noticing whether that change in arm movement untucked our tailbone. If it did, give it another tuck. And send your breath into the back of your chest. And unwinding your arms on your inhale. Exhale, lowering the right hand down to the mat. Underneath the shoulder, coming into an easy twist. Left hand reaching towards the ceiling. And pulling that left arm back to feel a stretch along the left chest. Coming up to the ball of your right foot if that feels more comfortable for you. Taking one more breath here. Inhale, release. And exhale, coming into downward dog. Walking the feet out. And then we're switching sides. Inhaling the right foot forward into warrior 1. Feet again on separate tracks. Placing both hands on either sides of our pelvis. And feeling if our spine is neutral. And maybe we need to give a tuck to our tailbone. So inhale to lengthen your spine. And exhale to tuck your tailbone down towards the ground. Now clasp both hands behind your back. And roll your shoulder blades down. Focusing on creating more length in our spine. And deepen our breath here. Eagle arms is next. Left arm underneath, right arm on top. And then inhale to scoop our chest forward. And exhale to bring our shoulder blades down. And maybe relaxing our head and our biceps. Recognizing if we've collapsed in our chest. So just inhale to lengthen. And exhale to tuck. And on your next inhale, unwind the arms. Easy twist is next. Left palm on the ground. maybe popping up on the left balls of our foot, and right arm shining up towards the ceiling and reaching back to find that stretch along our right chest. Let your head feel heavy, relaxing our neck. And on your next inhale, coming out, and exhaling into downward dog. Walking the feet out. And we'll be coming into lounge lunge on the left side. So inhale, bringing the left foot forward, lowering the back knee, and bringing the right hand in front of the plumb line of your shoulder and wrapping the left hand around the left shin. Feeling length through our back leg. And taking an inhale to lengthen through our spine, and exhale, gliding the right rib cage towards the front of your mat. Feeling a really awesome stretch along the right side of our body, and relaxing your head wherever it feels comfortable. Sending some love to your low back. Pigeon poses next. So on your next inhale, coming out, we want both of our hips facing the short edge of our mat. So rearranging our front leg to wherever that allows us to have both of our hips in alignment. Lengthen out through your back leg and slowly fold over your knee. And maybe you stay up on your hands today, or you come onto your forearms, or even fully laying down on your mat. On each of your inhales, lengthen through your spine. And on your exhales, maybe finding a bit more length along that back leg. Sending breath into your lower back and your lower spine. And doing that same visualization exercise that we did earlier in class as you're in your pigeon right now. Watching your breath spiral around and come into our low back tissues. Holding our breath at the top of our inhale to let the oxygen permeate, and exhale to release. And on your next inhale, coming out, we're going to be coming into pigeon, sternum to ankle, bringing the left shin to be parallel with the short edge of your mat. And that back leg, it's almost impossible for it to be straight, so just bring it into a position that's comfortable. And on your inhale, lengthen through your spine, and exhale, lowering. Now it's much harder to lower into our pigeon this way, so just come down as far as your back will allow it, and as far as your hips will allow. Whether that's on your hands, your forearms, or maybe hooking your left elbow on your left foot. Again, sending your breath into the low tissues of your back. And on your next inhale, coming out, and exhale into downward dog. Maybe walking out your dog before we switch sides. And on your next inhale, bringing the right foot forward, coming into lounge lunge. Left hand flat on the mat in front of the plumb line of your shoulder, and your right arm hugging your right shin. Inhale to lengthen out through your spine, and exhale to glide the left rib cage down towards the mat. Finding maybe a bit more length in your back straight leg. Relaxing the head down. Recognize if your lower back feels different now than it did when we first started. On your next inhale, coming back to center, pigeon is next. Again, both hips should be facing the short edge of your mat. Again, finding length through the left leg. And once you're comfortable, coming into a forward fold over your right leg. On each inhale, lengthening out your spine. And exhale to release. Continuing to deepen our breath. Letting our body soften. And on your next inhale, coming up, sternum to ankle is next. So right shin should be parallel with the short edge of your mat. Bringing the back leg in wherever your body will allow it to be. Inhaling, lengthening out your spine, and exhale, folding over your right foot. It could be your hands, your forearms, or even hooking your right elbow on your right foot. Wherever that is, make sure you're not clenching your jaw, hiking up your shoulders, or tightening up your low back. Sending one loving breath into your low spine. And on your next inhale, coming up, and exhale, coming onto our back for a laying spinal twist. Knees above the feet, bringing the hips up and over towards the left. And exhale, bringing our knees over towards the right side. Feeling length in our low spine. Resting our right hand on our thigh. And bringing our left hand where it feels comfort. Neck should also be wherever you feel comfort today. Whether that's shining up towards the ceiling or looking over one of your shoulders. Beginning to slow our breath, but staying present on our mat. Inhale, coming back to center, bringing the hips to neutral, lifting the hips up again, bringing them over towards the right, and relaxing our knees over towards the left side. Left hand can rest on the left thighs, and right hand and neck wherever they're comfortable. On your next inhale, we'll come back to center. And exhale, bringing our spine back to neutral. Preparing for Shavasana. So taking a moment to tuck our left and our right shoulder blades under. And letting our palms shine towards the ceiling. Lifting our hips up to tuck our tailbone down. And then bringing both of our legs out. Let them lay wide. And bring ease to your breath. Soften the muscles of your forehead and your jaw. And let the weight of your body sink into the mat. Take a moment to feel whether your low back feels any different. And for the last time during class, send some love to the tissues around your spine, to the muscles that support your back. And exhale any tension that's left out. Begin to bring life back into your body, wiggling the fingers and the toes, deepening your breath, feeling your belly rise and empty. And slowly coming onto one side and coming up to seated. Bring our hands into prayer at our chest. And taking one last bow of gratitude for showing up to practice today. Namaste.